Join me as I challenge myself to explain 10 things about growing up in the 90s that kids today just can't seem to wrap their heads around. Growing up in the 90s was a unique experience, one that shaped our formative years and created nostalgic memories that we still cherish today. But as we look back, it's clear that there are certain things about that era that are nearly impossible to explain to younger generations. In today's world, where technology and social media have become an integral part of our daily lives, it can be tough to put into words what made the 90s so special. I mean, how do you describe the joy of waiting for what felt like an eternity for your favorite song to play on the radio? Or the satisfaction of finally getting that one level on your favorite video game? The gap between our generation and the next is vast, and sometimes it feels like we're speaking different languages. I've found myself having conversations with younger friends and family members, trying to explain things like cassette tapes or dial-up internet, only to be met with blank stares and confused expressions. It's clear that there's a lot about the 90s that just doesn't translate to today's world. But that's exactly what I want to talk about in this video. The things that made growing up in the 90s unique and the experiences that are lost on kids today. Alright, let's dive in. Growing up in the 90s was a time before smartphones, when our phones were attached to the wall, and you had to use a physical map to get around. It was a time when Saturday mornings were reserved for cartoons, and Friday nights were all about watching music videos on MTV. One of my favorite memories from the 90s was renting VHS tapes from the local video store. You'd browse the aisles for what felt like hours, finally finding that one movie you just had to see, and then you'd bring it home and hope that it didn't get tangled up in the VCR. The internet was a different beast altogether. With dial-up, you'd wait what felt like an eternity for a single page to load, only to have it freeze on you halfway through. But despite all the struggles, there was something charming about the 90s. Maybe it was the simplicity of it all, the fact that we didn't have the constant distraction of social media or the pressure to present a perfect online persona. For me, the most impactful difference between the 90s and today is the way we consumed media. With the rise of streaming services, we now have access to an endless library of shows and movies at our fingertips. But back in the 90s, we only had a few channels to watch, or heaven forbid we had to get up and put in a new VHS tape. This shift in how we consume media has had a profound impact on our attention spans, our relationships, and even our overall worldview. It's something that I think about a lot, and it's made me realize just how different the 90s really were. Looking back, growing up in the 90s was a unique experience, full of quirks and challenges that shaped us into the people we are today. From the lack of smartphones to the joy of renting VHS tapes, these are the things that made our childhood so special. Thanks for taking this trip down memory lane with me. If you have any favorite 90s memories, be sure to share them in the comments section below. And don't forget to subscribe for more nostalgic content.